So how did them pull this terrible thing off, you'd perhaps ask me? How did we get here? How did mankind end up in this terrible state of deprivation? All happening before our very eyes. While there'd be nothing anyone could have done about it, or so it may seem. How, Val? How this thing actually happened? Pornography, what else? What else? What else but pornography? You see, close to 100 years ago, a righteous man, an inventor, came with the wonderful idea of catching motion pictures on camera and recording those. Wonderful idea, yet the cinema went the way of corruption. They first used the cinema in order to capture as a historical document, you see, in order to capture the deprivation all around us. Yet the cinema and motion pictures diverged into pornography. While today pornography is not only pervasive, it is a way of life. It's pornography, what else? What else but pornography? There's a psalm for every situation, or so I heard. Honestly now, maybe that's the interesting thing about the book of Psalms. Each one can be rendered in a suitable way according to the situation. Yeah, but how about your stuff? You haven't always been the greatest psalmist. Why aren't you walking the talk, Val? Okay. That's because I don't have the latest Adobe Photoshop and Windows Movie Maker installed on this machine. I'm rudimentary, you see. Just do as I say, for heaven's sake. Don't do exactly as I do. Do as I say, not as I do, okay? You want to avoid fire in a hole in your own town? There's a psalm for every situation. Most definitely there is. One day as she was about to go out, the girl discovered she had no shoes for the occasion. In addition to this terrible observation, all of the leather items in her wardrobe were all of a sudden as tight as 3 sizes to tie. Plus, they were burning. They were itching on skin. These were the demonic items, you see. The leather in question was of human provenance. It mattered much less that as a fact the girl never did murder. The devil himself was burning as hard as ever, and the girl was the devil's mistress. The devil was fond of his wives, you see, as his wives were there to bring him fresh children. That's the devil's food chain. Female, gazing into a bottomless lake, speaking to her elusive husband, the Prince of Darkness, whispering wonderful words of love and lust to him. The prince asking her to bring forth disciples to the path of darkness. The girl could have called in sick that day, yet she was proud to choose that course of events. She was turning and twitching. She felt terribly restless and couldn't stop fidgeting. Finally, she decided to go out anyway. She went for a stroll around the wharf. The gulls were restless too. Those birds scared her, they always did, yet now, more than ever. It seemed that everything in that town was happening towards her dislike that day. Yes, she did think to move away. The thought came across a couple of times, yet to move where? She had no savings. She had no overseas friends that would help her. As much as she'd have wished, the Lonely Planet travel guide was not enough for such an elaborate enterprise. Disillusioned. What does that word even mean within this context? Disappointed? disappointed with the world and people, disappointed with laughing, playing, entertaining, mingling, chatting, gossiping, heart-aching, going to and from, hoping, expecting, breathing. What does it really mean to be disappointed? Does that even make any sense? Human nature to transgress, that is written in more than one place, in more than one source. Yet, where is that elusive boundary we're all after? I went for a swim at my local aquatic center 2 weeks ago and I did enjoy it. Had I been Jewish, that would have meant transgression, no doubt. No, transgression is in all of us altogether. It is within our natures. We're just born that way. The girl couldn't find rest that day. She ended up missing work. Third time in 1 month. Third time in 1 month, her cubicle was empty all afternoon while she was wandering around somewhere. Third time in 1 month, she proved unreliable. Third time in 1 month, she wasn't a team player. The obvious secret is that she always hoped for more than a cubicle. Don't we all? Jean-Paul Sartre knew of these things, yet these days he's perceived as an obscurely quirky figure. Nobody truly understands Sartre in the same way nobody understands Wittgenstein. Yet they were both writing about the same old things. I come to the conclusion that everything ever written or pictured was in fact about these things. The world is everything that is the case. The world is everything that is the case. The world is everything that is within the case. The world is everything that is, after a careful scientific apprehension, within the case. That is, within the esoteric, Masonic briefcase. That is the world. The world is within the case.